Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to solve one more paper of IGCSE grade 10. The paper is 058023 MJ21. Let's get started. Question number 1. Write down the number that is 23 less than minus 1.6. So it will be minus 1.6 minus 23, which is minus 20. Just a second, sorry, just made a mistake. Yes, minus 24.6. Second question, write as a fraction in its simplest form, 72%. So 72% is going to be nothing but 72 upon 100. So using calculator, I'll get 18 by 25. Just input 72 by 100 into your calculator. You'll get your answer in the simplest form. Similarly, 0.004, I can write this as 4 upon 1000. So 4 upon 1000 is nothing but 1 upon 250. Next question. The diagram shows a pair of parallel lines and a straight line. Okay. Complete the statement with the correct geometrical region. X is equals to 40 because the angles are corresponding. These angles are known as corresponding angles. Next, find the value of y. As you can see, this forms a complete circle. Thus, y plus 100 should be equals to 360 degree. So I can write it as 2y is equals to 360 minus 100. 2y is equals to 260. Therefore, y is going to be 260 upon 2, which is 130 degrees. Next question. Joe invests $600 for 7 years at an interest of 1.5% per year. Calculate the total interest he earned during the 7 years. We are supposed to find interest. So interest is nothing but PRT upon 100, where P is your principal, R is your rate, T is your time, divided by 100. So my interest is going to be 600, or let me just simplify it, 6 into 1.5 into 7, which is $63 is going to be my interest. Maria buys n pencils that costs p cents each. The cost of each pencil is p cent. She pays a $5 note. Okay. Find in terms of n, p and y the amount of change Maria receives. She is paying y dollars, right? So the pen is costing p cents each, and she is paying in dollars. So first we are supposed to convert this dollars into cents. $1 is 100 cents. Therefore, y dollar will be 100 y cents. Right? This is the amount she is paying. And cost of each pencil is p dollars. So if she is buying n pencils, the total cost is going to be np. And the amount she is going to get back is 100p, or sorry, 100y minus np. Next question. From the list of two numbers, write down a cube number, a number which is a cube. As you can see clearly, 125 is a cube number. Prime number, a number which has only two factors, one and the number itself. I think here we have 12 is not a prime, 18 is not a prime, 29 is a prime number. Next, Alex changes 190 euros into pounds, where 1 pound is equals to 1.1723 euros. Calculate the amount Alex receives. So he is converting euros into pounds. So the amount he will be receiving is 190 divided by 1.1723. 1.1723. So 190 divided by 1.1723 is 162.07. 162.074. This is what I am getting as my answer. But as we are supposed to round off up to 2 decimal place, so my answer is going to be 162.07. Next question. Without using a calculator, work out. Okay. We have been given division of two fractions and we are supposed to solve this without using calculator. Let's convert this into improper form. So this is going to be 3 ones are 3, 3 plus 2 5 upon 3 divided by 7 twos are 14, 14 plus 1 15 upon 2, which is 5 by 3 into 2 by 15. 5 ones are 5 threes are. So the answer is going to be 2 by 9. Next question. Describe fully the transformation of T onto A. The transformation of T onto A. Okay. As you can see, this is nothing but a translation. Right. This is, what is this? This is a translation. We have moved 1 unit to the left, that is 1 unit in left side of x, which is -1, and in y we have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 units downwards. Downwards means negative. So translation is going to be -1, -8. On the image, draw the image of the triangle after an enlargement with a scale factor of -2 from the center 0, 0. We are supposed to draw enlargement of T with the scale factor of 2 from center. Okay, let me just take my scale here. So from center, if I measure this distance, as you can see, these are 2 square units, 1 and 2 square units. Now the scale factor is of -half. First of all, let's forget about minus here. The scale factor is of half. So this distance, which is of 2 units from this point, is now going to be half of that, which is 1 unit. So this point is going to be here, right? This is my first point. Now the scale factor is in minus sign. Minus sign means we are supposed to take mirror image, or you are supposed to flip the triangle. So as this was, now this part was lying above to this point. Now after enlargement, this is going to lie below. So this is of 2 units. So now this will be, after an scale factor of half, this is going to be 1. Similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is going to be 1, 2 and 3. So this is going to be my enlarged figure, right? This is going to be my enlarged figure. Next, simplify 3x cube into 4x power 4. Okay, 4 3s are 12, and as you know, when the base are same, power gets added. So x power 3 plus 4, which is 7. Next part, x is an integer and -3 less than equals to 2x minus 1 less than 3. Find the values of x. Let us solve this. So this inequalities are present on both the sides. So let me remove this -1. On removing -1, I'll add +1 to both the sides of the inequality, which is -2 less than 2x less than 4. Now let's divide this with 2. So my answer will be -1 less than x less than 2. But we are supposed to write values of x, and x is an integer. So integers lying between -1 and 2, where -1 is included. So your answer is going to be -1, 0 and 1. Next, expand and simplify. 6 into t, 60, minus 6q, minus 2t plus 6q. 6q minus 6q plus 6q will get cancelled. 60 minus 2t is 40. The magnitude of a vector 20k is 29. Find the value of k. Magnitude is nothing but under root x square plus y square. So we have been given that under root x square plus y square is 29. Let us remove this square root from here. So we will take square on both the sides. Thus we will get 20 square plus k square is equals to 29 square. So my k square is going to be 29 square minus 20 square, and k is going to be root of 29 square minus 20 square. Which is 21. Triangle, this is going to be my triangle ACX, okay, and this is my triangle ABX. As you can see, BC, I can say BC forms the base of triangle ABC, right? And we have already found it out, BX is equals to 4 centimeter. We know what is the area of triangle. Area of triangle is half base into height. And what height do we need? We need perpendicular height, right? We are supposed to find perpendicular height, which is 90 degree to the base. So for this triangle ABX, the perpendicular height is going to be something like this. And since the base is shared between the triangle ABX and ACX, triangle ACX will also have the same base, right? This triangle perpendicular base, perpendicular to the base, 90 degree. This is going to be the height of triangle ABX. The same height is also going to be of triangle ACX. Thus, height of both the triangles are same. But what is the difference? The difference is of base. This triangle has a base of 4 centimeter, whereas this triangle has a base of 8 centimeter. Thus, area of triangle ACX is going to be twice of area ABX. So 2 times of 6.7265. This was a 1 mark question, but it was a very trick question. 13.453. Many students made mistake in writing this answer. The sides of a regular hexagon are 88 millimeter. Correct to nearest millimeter. Calculate the lower bound of the perimeter of hexagon. Lower bound of perimeter. Okay. So nearest millimeter means 1 mm. So for bounds, we always divide this by 2. So this is going to be my 0.5 mm. So for upper bound we'll take 80 plus 0.5, and for lower bound we'll take 80 minus 0.5. So we are supposed to find lower bound. So we'll take 80 minus 0.5. This is going to be side of each side of the hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides in total. Thus my perimeter is going to be 477 mm. Next question. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 175 degrees. Calculate the number of sides. See, there are multiple ways of solving this question. One way is you can use the formula of interior angle, that each interior angle in a triangle is given by n minus 2 into 180 upon n, and your interior angle here is 175 degree. From this you can find out n, but this is going to be a rather complicated or lengthy process. But I have another way to solve this. What way? Let's say this is my polygon. Now if I extend this line, this angle is my interior angle, whereas this angle is going to be my exterior angle. So as this forms a straight line, therefore I can say interior angle plus exterior angle adds up to 180. So if my interior angle is 175, then my exterior angle is going to be 5 degree. And the total of all exterior angles are 360. So 360 divided by n gives you each exterior angle. Therefore 360 upon 5 is equals to n. I can rearrange this equation. So 360 divided by 5, which is 72. This triangle has 72, or this polygon has 72 sides. A car starts from rest and accelerates at a rate of 3 meter per second square for 4 seconds. Then travels at a constant speed for 10 seconds. The diagram shows speed time graph. Okay. Find the speed v. See, we have been given acceleration. What is acceleration? Change in speed upon time. So let me just write that change in speed from 0 it goes to v. So change in speed v minus 0 upon time. Time is 4 seconds and the acceleration is 3. So therefore my v is going to be 12 meter per second. Next, calculate the total distance traveled by the car during 14 seconds. So if we have speed time graph, then we can easily find the distance using area. See, this is nothing but a trapezium, right? So you must be knowing that area of trapezium is half sum of parallel sides into distance between them. If you have forgotten this formula, then you can divide this shape into triangle and a rectangle. Then also you can, in that way also you can do it. So what are going to be my parallel side? Let me just apply this formula over here. Half sum of parallel sides, which is 14 plus 14 minus 4, which is 10. Half 14 plus 4 into distance between them. Distance between them was v, and we have already found it out that v is 12. Sorry, not 14 plus 4. This is 14 plus 10. Just made a mistake. So 14 plus 10 into 12 divided by 2. So the area or the distance traveled is 144 meter. Let's move to the next question. P, Q and T are points on a circle. Okay. ATP is a tangent to the circle. Okay. And PT is equals to PQ. Find angle TPQ. See, according to alternate segment, if this is 50 degree, then side opposite to this is also going to be 50 degree according to alternate segment theorem. And PT and PQ are same, thus angles will also be same. So if this is 50, this is also going to be 50. So I can find out angle TPQ. This is going to be nothing but 180 minus 100, which is 80 degrees. Let's move on to the next part. The diagram shows a cyclic quadrilateral with an exterior angle of 68 degree. Find the value of W and X. See, this is a cyclic quadrilateral, so opposite angles add up to 180. So I can find out X easily. 3x plus 2x equals to 180. Therefore 5x is equals to 180, and my x is going to be 180 divided by 5, which is 36 degree. and as this forms an exterior angle, this angle is going to be 180 minus 68, which is 112 degrees, 112 degree, and 112 plus W is equals to 180. So from there I can write W is equals to 180 minus 112, which is 68 degrees. Next, simplify and give your answer in standard form. Okay, let me just simplify it first. 2.1 into 10 raised to p plus 2.1. See, this is 10 raised to p minus 1. I'll write this as 10 raised to p upon 10 raised to 1. Right? Because in division, when the base are same, power gets subtracted. So I'll just rephrase this into 10 raised to p upon 10 raised to 1. So this is going to be my 2.1 into 10 raised to p plus 0.21 into 10 raised to p. Let me take out 10 raised to p as common. So I'll be left with 2.1 plus 0.21 into 10 raised to p. So my answer is going to be 2.1 plus 0.21, which is 2.31 into 10 raised to p. As simple as that. The shortest distance from B to AC. Shortest distance from B to AC is 12.8 centimeter. Calculate BC. Shortest distance from B to AC means the shortest distance is always perpendicular to the opposite side. So this shortest distance from B to AC, let's say this is intersecting at point D. This shortest distance is given to us as 12.8 centimeter. We are supposed to find BC. Okay, we'll use the concepts of right angle triangle or trigo. This is angle, this is going to be opposite side, and we are supposed to find BC, which is the hypotenuse. So we can use sine 65 is equals to opposite upon hypotenuse. So BC is going to be my 12.8 upon sine 65. So 12.8 divided by sine 65 is 14.12. Next part, Z is inversely proportional to square of y minus 2 when Z is 9 and y is 5. Find Z in terms of y. So let us first use the sign of proportionality. Z is inversely proportional to square of y minus 2. So when we'll remove this sign of proportionality, our equation will be k upon y minus 2 whole square. Y is 5 and Z is 9. So when y is 5 and Z is 9. So therefore my k is going to be 9 into 3 square, which is 81. So we are supposed to find Z in terms of k. So which is to make Z the subject of formula. So Z is going to be 81 upon y minus 2 square. Next question. A triangle has sides 11, 10 and 9 centimeter. Calculate the largest angle in the triangle. See, we have a triangle. Let's say this is 11 centimeter, this is 10 centimeter and this is the 9 centimeter. We are supposed to find the largest angle. The largest angle is the angle opposite to the largest side, which is this angle. This is going to be my largest angle. We are supposed to find this angle theta. As this is a non-right angle triangle, we could use cos rule, which says a square equals to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos theta. So which is 121 is equals to 100 plus 81 minus 10 into 9, 90, 90 into 2 is 180 cos theta. So just let me rearrange. 180 cos theta is equals to 181 minus 121. So cos theta is 60 upon, let me bring 180 to the right hand side, upon 180. So theta is going to be my cos inverse 1 by 3. So cos inverse 1 by 3 is nothing but 70.5 degrees. On the axis, sketch the graph of this functions. Y is equals to 2 upon x. See guys, this is a graph of reciprocal function where the power of x is minus 1, right? So you can easily sketch this graph. This graph is going to look something like this. This graph is going to look something like this. Next is y is equals to 2 power minus x. I can rewrite this as y is equals to 1 upon 2 power x. This is a graph of exponential function. This is a graph of exponential function. So let's say when your x is 0, your y is going to be 2 power 0, which is 1. So when your x is 0, your y is going to be 1, and this is a decreasing exponential curve because the power of x is in denominator. Had this question be something like this, so the graph would have looked something like this, but this is a decreasing curve, right? As you keep on increasing the value of x, the value of 2 power x increases, but 2 power x is in denominator, thus the value of y reduces. So on increasing the value of x, your value of y is going to reduce. So the graph is going to look something like this, where this point is going to be 1. Next question. Find the coordinate or find the x coordinates of the point on the graph where y square is equals to x power 5 minus 5x power 4, where the gradient is 0. We have been given equation y is equals to x power 5 minus x power 4, and we are supposed to find x coordinates where the gradient is 0. Gradient is nothing but dy by dx. So we know, if we have equation y is equals to x power n, its dy by dx is going to be n into x n minus 1. We'll use the same concept here. Dy by dx 5 x power 5 minus 1, which is 4, minus 5 into 4 x power 4 minus 1, which is 3. So dy by dx is going to be 5x power 4 minus 20x cube. But we have been given that dy by dx is 0. So 5x power 4 minus 20x cube is equals to 0. Let us take out 5 and x cube common. So we will be left with x minus 4 equals to 0. So we will have two values of x. One will be 5x cube equals to 0 and another will be x minus 4 equals to 0. So one is x equals to 0 and one is x equals to 4. We are only supposed to find x coordinate, so we will leave this as it is, x equals to 0 and x equals to 4. Had they also told us to find the y coordinates, then we would have simply substitute this value of x in the main equation and we would have gotten our y coordinates. Next question. Malik goes to a shop every day to buy bread. Okay. On any day, the probability that Malik goes to the shop in the morning is 1 by 3. So probability that, I am just breaking the question into multiple parts. The probability that Malik goes to shop in the morning is 0.7. Then probability of not going in the morning is going to be, let's say I am writing here not going. not going is going to be 0.3. Okay, if he goes in the morning, the probability there is bread to buy for Malik is 0.95. So if he goes in the morning, the probability that there is bread available is 0.95. Then bread, or I should say no bread. No bread is going to be 1 minus 0.95, which is 0.05. Okay. If he goes later, the probability that there is bread for Malik is 0.6. If he goes later, the probability that there is bread for Malik is 0.6. So bread and no bread. Bread is 0.6 and no bread is 0.4. Calculate the probability that on any day there is bread for Malik. So when can he get bread? When he goes on morning and bread is available, which is, let's say he goes on morning and bread is available, plus let's say that he goes later and bread is available, just 0.6. So my answer is 0.7 into 0.95 plus 0.3 into 0.6, which comes out to be 0.845. 0.7 into 0.95, 0.3 into 0.6, yes, 0.845. With this, we have completed this paper. I hope you have enjoyed. Let us know in the comment below how you like our videos. If you need any suggestions, if you have any suggestion for our channel, kindly let us know. Please share and subscribe to our channel to get regular updates. Bye bye. Take care.